I'd like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting December 5th, 2024 at 6:15 p.m. And I ask our deputy clerk to take Richards to take a roll.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Gunter?
Here.
Clerk Simsky is absent. Trustee Barker?
Here.
Trustee Barry?
Here.
Trustee Guzzo? Oh, is absent. Trustee Little?
Here.
Trustee Nero?
Here.
Attorney Zemniak?
Here.
Village Manager May?
Here.
Assistant Village Manager Parker?
Here. Would everybody please rise and join me in a pledge of allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, welcome everyone. I know Chief went around and saw, is anybody open forum? And that's an opportunity to address the board, but if you're on the agenda, you can speak at that point. So seeing none, I'll move on to reports. My report's first, and I think this is on behalf of the entire board and the community, that we're deeply saddened by the sudden and tragic passing of Matt Birdie, owner of Neat Kitchen and Bar. Matt was an important member of our business community, served as a board member on the chamber. He had a great passion and commitment to making Westmont a better place for everyone. Our thoughts and prayers are with Matt's family, friends, and the staff at Neat Kitchen and Bar. We've adjusted our village board meeting schedule due to the holidays. Our next meeting will be 2 weeks from tonight on December 19th. And then the next meeting after that won't be till January the 9th at 6 o'clock right here. Starting Saturday night, Holidays Festival. Santa's coming in with the parade. It's beautifully decorated our downtown. Please enjoy the holiday celebration. The Frosty and Friends Parade, tree lighting ceremony, and pictures with Santa will take place at downtown Westmont this Saturday, December 7th. The festivities kick off with the Westmont High School choir singing in Addington Plaza at 4:30 p.m., followed by the parade at 5. More information can be found on the village website at westmont.il.gov. And I think some of the people here will be on the float, or have an entry in it. Water infrastructure needs and rate increases. Tonight, the village will continue the discussion regarding water infrastructure needs and corresponding rate increases to pay for these updates. Information has been posted on our village website. Deputy Village Clerk Richards.
The village offices will be closed to the public on the following dates: December 24th and 25th and January 1st, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Nero, Public Works.
Thank you, Mayor. Before this meeting, we had a pretty big Public Works Committee meeting. We went through we heard a presentation from an architect firm called 845 who did a needs analysis on our fire department, ran through a kind of a recap of that, and I think we were all kind of educated on the situation at the fire station and maybe some of the improvements that need to be done, or even a complete rebuild. So more to come on that here in the near future. We also had a brief discussion, not brief, lengthy discussion on cruising nights and the potential locations of future cruising nights. So again, more discussion on that to come. We also ran through very quickly, our downtown light fixture that the village and village board have selected. We're kind of excited about that. As we're doing some improvements, you're going to see quite a few new light poles come up that are a little bit more technologically advanced and a little more environmentally conscious, and it's going to allow us to reduce the number of poles significantly. So that's going to be pretty slick. So again, just to continue to commitment to infrastructure here in town. So hopefully all you folks appreciate that. And just a quick update, there are some lead and copper rules that are going to be changing. We're going to be posting those updates on our websites, but just wanted to make sure that the public is aware of some of the APA rules that the village has to abide by. And that is all I have on Public Works. I know we didn't get through it all, but we will. Just a quick snow removal operations. I know it's already here, but just wanted to remind everybody, after 2 or more inches of snow, parking is prohibited on any street for a period of 8 hours after the snow has stopped falling to assist with snow removal. If snow removal is needed after 8 hours, parking is still prohibited. During snow removal operations, the village first priority is to keep all main streets open for emergency vehicles and residential use, so please be patient. And additional snow removal information has also been posted to the village website, should you have any other questions or want to know some more. And then just a quick Community Development Committee update. The next meeting is scheduled January 23rd. I'm sorry, December 11th. Tonight, the board will consider both the text amendment and 2 cases for special uses from the November meeting. And last but certainly not least, for everybody here, Casey's Hall on the 7th, so our Knights of Columbus here in town are going to be having a food drive. It's the 7th, so Saturday, 10 to 1. Bring something by the KC Hall, help them out. But on the 8th, it's even more fun. I know the mayor will be there, I'm sure. He always is making pancakes. It's the pancake breakfast with Santa at the KC Hall, 8 to 12 on the 8th. And again, great organization to help give back to them, who give back to many here in Westmont and surrounding neighboring communities. And that is all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Trustee Little, Administration and Finance.
Thank you. Our next meeting of the Administration Finance Committee will be December 19th, 4:30, right here in Village Hall. The village has been using our new credit card payment processor for online bill payments. Details have been posted on the village website. And business registrations, excuse me, for 2025 will be emailed soon to business license holders. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And Trustee Barker, Environmental Improvement Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. The holiday lights recycling is ongoing. Residents can still drop off unwanted or broken lights until January 31st at 2 locations. One is the library and the fire department headquarters on South Cass. There's containers there for the holiday lights. We just completed this past weekend, we had an electronics and more recycling event out here in front of Village Hall. We had another record-setting recycling event this past weekend with 425 vehicles participating, and I do want to thank...
Bigger than cruising nights.
It was very well attended. Everyone breaks a record, right? And the people are grateful that we're doing this. Thank you to Communications for coordinating, the Public Works Department for the traffic control devices and the cones and the barricades and all that, and especially the EMA who come out and help with the traffic flow and keep people moving in and out of there safely. To me, I thought there was at least 8 EMA guys there, or guys and gals, and they're volunteers, right? So they're all volunteers in that role. And then the EIC committee, again, our residents here in town that volunteer their time to make sure that we're doing things environmentally friendly. In 2025, there are 2 events being scheduled, and there'll be more to come on that. And then the EIC meetings, the Environmental Improvement Committee of the village, the meetings are going to move to the library. Starting in January, the EIC will meet at the library on the first Monday of each month at 5:30 p.m. And part of the reason for that move is we're going to have more emphasis on education, and we're lining up guest speakers, and those guest speakers will be available to the committee, but they'll also be available to the public in 2025. So the library is a good venue to accommodate more of this public education and participation. One of the speakers that we're excited about, believe it or not, is somebody from the EPA coming in and talking to us about toxicology, and they're one of those bug people. What do they call them, Adam?
Entomologist.
Entomologists, right? So Linda's a butterfly aficionado, so we've been trying to figure out if our spraying and stuff is bothering monarchs and stuff like that, so we're going to get somebody in there that is an expert in things like that. So it's very educational and a very good group. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Now I'm going to turn to Trustee Barry to give an update on police and fire public safety.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and again, I know just to reiterate about Matt. Matt was just a friend from the time he moved in. He's a neighbor, and he came into Westmont, and he was open arms with it. And Larry and others will tell you he was willing to help us out in anything that came across. And I said it many times, society lost out because Matt was just one of those guys that really got it, and just overall a good guy. And we're gonna continue to miss Matt here, and our prayers go out to him and his family and the whole staff. So with that, public safety, the 9 p.m. routine. Citizens are encouraged to keep their homes and property safe by following the 9 p.m. routine. Every night, secure your vehicle, lock the garage, check your mail, lock your house, see something, say something. 9 p.m. routine details have been posted on the village website. The Westmont Police Department is hiring. They are hiring lateral transfer police officers. Info has been posted on the village website and other social media. As for the Fire Public Safety Committee, the 2025 meeting, the next meeting will be March 6th. And the fire department encourages everyone to keep the wreath red. Now through January 2nd, residents are encouraged to be extra diligent with fire safety. Fire safety information, again, has been posted on the website. That is what I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Moving on, does any board member have any items they want removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'd ask Manager May to please read.
All right, this is an easy one.
Easy.
Consent agenda this evening, our village board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of November 14, 2024, followed by finance ordinance number 16 in the aggregate amount of $1,569,097.69. That's the entire consent agenda.
Do I have a motion to approve as read?
Motion to approve is read. Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion made in second. Comments? None? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Motion passes. We're going to move on to new business. A, special use permit, 822 East Ogden Avenue, Bowie, Barker. Board to consider ordinance approving a request by FHBP PB Company LLC and SJ Investment Associates LLC regarding 822 East Ogden Avenue, Westmont, Illinois. It's a special use permit request to operate an animal grooming business in the B2 General Business District. Director Henderfund.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Board. So what's before you tonight is another special use. For those of you that aren't familiar with special uses, these are uses in a district that may be possible with closer scrutiny. So this is one of those businesses that got a little closer scrutiny. So Bowie Barker is a dog grooming business. The location is 822 East Ogden Avenue, which we know as St. James Crossing. This is the last vacant space, I believe, in that, so this would fill the last vacant space. This is a dog grooming business. They do have another business that's in downtown Chicago that's successful. They're looking at opening one here. They would be open from 9 to 6 most days and have about 11 employees. It was a positive recommendation for planning and zoning. It's actually a 6-1 vote. There were a little concerns on parking in St. James Crossing, which I think we all know that it is a successful shopping center there. And then some, noises that could be produced from the use itself. There are some standard special use language that we put in these types of uses for basically dog service uses, so vets and dog grooming, that typically require the business to make sure that the outside of the property is cleaned up, because whenever you have pets coming in and out, there are concerns there, and some other special conditions that will be placed in the ordinance. I do have the petitioner here if you
Like to
have
come up for
any
the-
questions.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me today.
You want to tell us about your business?
Yes, absolutely. My name is Furkan Hadi. I was actually in front of you maybe 3 months ago for the Now Massage that we opened in the same shopping center. So we're taking another vacant space and turning it into one of our other concepts. I told you a little bit about kind of myself. We run a portfolio company around wellness businesses, primarily for people, but also for animals. This brand is called Bowie Barker. It is a part of a franchise brand. It is a newer franchise. Right now we have 4 stores in the U.S., one being here in Illinois. This would be the second one. We pride ourselves in redesigning the dog grooming business. We try to do it by offering technology so that you can stay connected with your dog throughout the service. You can book an appointment for your dog. We also give you the option to come and wash your own dog. So we provide the tub and the tools that you need to bathe your dog. If you don't want to do it, we do it, and then we hire professionals to also do the grooming part of it. We are a drop-off pickup business, and so you drop your dog with us, you book an appointment, we give you a time slot, we give you a 30-minute notice that your dog will be ready, and then you come pick up your dog. So the customer shouldn't really be waiting in our lobby. You drop it off, we take it from your possession, and we let you know when it's ready, and you come pick it up. From a safety perspective, we're hyper-focused on dog safety. We really want to make sure that we're offering the best experience and protecting people's animals. So things that we do that are very unique to our business. We have a camera on every dog at all times that the dog is in our possession. No dog will be nose to nose with another dog. Any dog that's being worked on should be within an arm's length of a service provider. All dogs will be on a leash, and then there's multiple access points where the dog cannot run away. Super focused on that. Our facility is very clean, smells very good. We pride ourselves in being different than other dog groomers by providing that super clean experience. We have central vac systems for the hair. We have protocols for any type of waste. We'll work with a third-party vendor to get rid of the waste. And we try to minimize the time the dog is with us. So we really try not to leave them in the crate unless we have to, and then try to notify the parent as soon as possible. Clean, fun business. So far in Lincoln Park in Chicago, we've been very successful, membership-based program. We try to make sure that we have a relationship with the dog, give out a lot of treats, build trust, and make sure that dog comes back to us so we can continue to take care of them. For this plaza specifically, it's a good use. Obviously, when you have animals, there's noise. So we're going to soundproof both of the walls. There's nothing up, so there's no concern there. On the one side is a hair salon, on the other side is a vacuum store. I've talked to both owners. They know we're coming, and they're comfortable with the soundproofing measures we're going to take. Parking-wise, like I said, it's a drop-off pickup, so really you shouldn't be spending too much time with us, more than 5 minutes, unless you're going to go do something else in that shopping center. It is a vacant space, but obviously parking, as we discussed before, is an issue. Other than that, my staff is trained. We pride ourselves in paying more than everybody else. So what that means is we hire experienced staff that know how to deal with dogs, that know how to groom dogs, and we just pay them more than our competitors. And that's kind of our model. We do have our own training programs. We do have a franchisor that's building a lot of initiatives and programs to make sure we continue to evolve. We're a big marketing company, so you'll see us on Instagram, website, and socials.
Your hours?
Right now, we're planning on 9 to 6. We will likely shift to 8 to 5.
7 days?
7 days.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Barker.
Second Little?
Motion been made in second. Any comments?
Sounds like the slickest dog grooming business
Yeah.
I've ever heard of. So nice presentation.
Thank you.
Except I want to maximize the time when I get rid of the dog for a day to get him clean. So
I would love
might
to
have
take it
work
from
on
you,
that.
but we can't do that.
You see, you've
Next
been a
business idea.
cross-market. What do you got, 30 minutes, I can get a massage, right? Right.
Yeah. I
there you
mean,
go.
I don't know if any of you have been to the massage business, but we built a really beautiful space. It's going really well. I think we spent about $900,000. I was pretty glad when the inspectors came. They said that was the best built business they've seen in Westmont. So I take that as an A+. We'll build another really beautiful business in this space.
And I'd have to say, 12 years ago, that shopping center was half empty. So I'm glad to see it's completely rented. So,
I talked to two of the business owners in there, and they said no issue with this, they're looking forward to it. As we've continued to hear, they said the lunchtime parking specifically, so even if, your own mind, if you try to balance that, that's where they say the main issue is the lunchtime, is when both restaurants kind of get everybody in there. So, but they were really looking forward to having them all full, so good luck.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
seeing no other, roll call, please.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business. B, text amendment, special uses OR zoning district. Board to consider an ordinance approving a zoning ordinance text amendment request from Fulton Westmont LLC to Appendix A, Section 813, special uses in the office research district of the zoning ordinance to allow performing arts studios as an allowable special use in the OR district. Director Henderfine.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we have two related items that will be considered separately tonight. So what it is we have a business that would like to locate into Brush Hill, and that is in the Office Research District. This is a use that is not currently allowed in that district, and that is a performing arts studio. So the first thing to be considered is the Office Research District appropriate for performing arts studios? So this was considered by Planning and Zoning. It was a unanimous recommendation. Planning and Zoning felt it was a good use for our Office Research District. Just to let everyone know that the text amendment for a performing arts studio does not allow performances. It's basically practices and lessons. So if anyone has concerns that it would be the place where everyone goes to view the dancing, that's not actually what happens in a performing arts studio. So that's what's before us. First is the text amendment for the Office Research District.
Is the applicant here?
The applicant is here and has a representative as well.
Okay. They want to come up? John, do you want to?
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees. It's my pleasure, I'm representing Fulton Westmont Ill LLC. I don't think it'll pick me up. Can you guys hear me okay still? Okay. Rarely do I have an opportunity where I have an opportunity to represent someone that's in practically my backyard and also help a growing business that was fostered and began in Westmont, who wanted to stay in Westmont, help an area that saw some vacancy following COVID. So I think we're all in agreement the office and research areas, not just in Westmont, but in a lot of places, has not gone back to pre-pandemic levels. So there need to be new types of uses that don't change the nature of those areas and find a way to supplement the area, and I think we've effectively done that with it. For those of you unfamiliar, it's at 750 Pasquinelli. The Brush Hill campus is 4 buildings, almost arranged in a square-like campus. It's shared, this building is shared with Hummingbird Academy, so we already have children that are there. It is adjacent immediately to the south is the, I believe, B1 district. Everywhere else to the north and east is Office Research District, and then just to the west is the Oakwood subdivision for residential. In this instance, I think everyone is happy. We think this is going to be a great opportunity for Westmont and this area. For those who have ever gone 2 blocks and had the benefit of waiting at the train tracks while also seeing a group of girls get out of practice, it's not always the easiest to navigate that traffic. Where this new location is, there's considerable setback, 3 different entryways on that campus, so having any type of backup, you can never say it's never impossible, but it would be a first just given the overall layout. We've yet to see it. There's plenty of parking already in existence, even when it is filled. So we really like this as an opportunity to allow the Performing Arts Center to go there. But it did need a text amendment. After meeting with your staff, who was wonderful, they did recommend that it come in as a special use to give essentially the village a little bit more control and say and restrictions as to what can go there, which I fully understand. No one wants to open up the floodgates. I guess it wouldn't be too bad if we become the dance capital of the region. It looks like you're there. It looks like you're there, and we didn't tell anyone to show up, so most of these people have a direct connection to the dance studio. And if you're not aware, you have any questions, just take a peek when you're on your way out here. That being said, I don't want to take any more of your time. I know the Public Works Committee went a little late. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Well, I think the success of the dance studio now, this will be the 3rd location. They've outgrown both. And not only parking, I've got a granddaughter who was there last night, so I got a chance to sit there, but it's full. You get a lot of people in there, so this would be a good location for you. That they go where your teachers are, so they'll find you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Any additional comments?
I just want to add, right now, you're just approving the zoning code to allow this
Allow it.
use. Okay.
Yeah. No performance tonight?
I'll do it if I need
Yeah,
to.
the room,
I thought all these people, they would be, I'm waiting for it.
wasn't that part of the,
Yeah, I
we
thought
needed some performance? No.
Your studio's done a great job, trust me.
Oh, nothing, I was ready to vote.
I did,
That's all.
yeah.
I was ready.
Really,
call,
before he changed his
please.
mind.
Yeah, I was,
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
yes.
All right, motion passes. Good luck. New business D, approval of intergovernmental agreement, Liberty Park Water Expansion Project.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, did I miss one?
We skipped C, which is the
Ah,
Now that it's
I
a
missed
use,
it.
Can't do this to all them, Mayor. Come on, we're
right through
outnumbered.
it. Board to, it's special use permit, 750 Pasquinelli Drive Express and Dance Studio. I tried to get rid of them before we did that. Board to consider an ordinance approving a request from Expression Dance Studio Incorporated for the property at 750 Pasquinelli Drive, Westmont, for the following. 1, special use permit request to operate a performing arts studio in the Office Research District. Director Hennerfein.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is actually the special use request for Expression Dance Studio to exist in Brush Hill. So we just did a text amendment that allows the use to be considered anywhere in that OR district. They actually have a location at 750 Pasquinelli, which is Brush Hill, which, as John had indicated, is a very underutilized space since the pandemic has been over. And it doesn't have a lot of real great visibility, so I don't think even when it was successful, that you could fill those spaces very easily. So Planning and Zoning did give a positive recommendation on this. As they indicate, there's much more parking, there's much more drive aisle, there's more entrances and exits. So we think that will alleviate most, if not all, the concerns that we've had in the current location. And we're very pleased that this is her third time to grow within Westmont. And Amber's here if you want to ask her out.
A motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion made and second. Any comments from anybody? Trustee Barry?
Yes, to the petitioner. So you'll be closing this location on Cass?
Yes.
Okay. I've only been back about 2 weeks, okay? And I'll tell you, one of the notes, I've been making notes for 6 months, but one of the things that I've really noticed there is the provisions that we originally gave you, we might as well rip those up today. You know, we had specifically said no dropping off on the sidewalk, no kids crossing Cass. All those things today completely go ignored. And I've been very disappointed in that part of it because our concern for putting all those rules in there originally was the safety of the kids. And I know at first there was letters given to the students and things like that, but this is welcome news to me to get this off Cass Avenue. And again, I'm great for your success, and even the mayor's going there, everyone's going there, and I love to see the kids performing on Cass. It's just that life safety issue that we see on an already intersection that's kind of reckless as it is, you know. So that was my main thing, is if you were going to try to keep both of them open or how that was going to work. So again, continued success.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes.
I just want to say that we all know that the parents will do whatever they want, right? But I hope you outgrow this space too, and if you do, come back and see us, right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When do you anticipate the move?
We're hoping for the summer to open July 1st.
Good.
Yeah.
Any other comments from anybody? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
If they want to leave, they can leave. You could stay.
Sure.
Wait a minute. I'll talk. No zoning. Thank you. Now we'll move on to new business D, approval of intergovernmental agreement, Liberty Park Water Expansion Project. Board to approve an intergovernmental agreement, which is an IGA, between County of DuPage, Illinois, and the Village of Westmont for the Liberty Park Water Expansion Project. And I guess I'm going to turn to manager or Director Reeves.
I can cover it.
Our manager may.
Well, the title pretty much describes it. The DuPage County, through, as one of many projects that they're administering with ARPA funds that they had access to, have appropriated $700,000 to portion of, well, I mean, it's for the Liberty Park water main improvements, and we have a portion that we want to apply it to, which we'll describe next, because the project actually went out to bid. So the agreement is the understanding on how to administer the funds, award the project, get reimbursed, and it's just the agreement between us and the county for free $700,000.
And again, the property's all in county and not in the village.
Correct,
So we're-
unincorporated.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion made and second. Any questions for anybody? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes. Motion passes. We'll move on to E, awarded bid proposal, Lincoln and 41st Street Water Main Extension. Board to consider ordinance awarding the bid to Miller Pipeline LLC for Lincoln and 41st Street Water Main Extension and authorizing a construction contract consistent with the bid documents. Director Reese.
Good evening. We accepted bids from 10 contractors for this project. The low bidder was Miller Pipeline LLC with a low bid of $726,254. So we were really happy to see this bid. All 10 bids, they were tightly clustered. It was a good bid, competitive. We've checked this contractor's references. They were all very good. So we feel very excited to be moving forward with the project, especially with the ARPA grant that we were able to get from the county. So thanks to the county board for helping us with this neighborhood
Helping
project.
their residents too
Yep.
at the same time.
So,
Yeah, I guess I'll clarify that too. They are incorporated now. We're building the water main. This doesn't have anything to do with direct connections to any single property, but it's access to the water main, and as they do connect, they are our future residents. So it's serving both.
But I think we kind of initiated that with the county to
Yes.
get this going. So,
Steve, I think you've answered this before, but if you hook up to the water, you have to annex. You can't just get the water and not annex.
Our codes require incorporation for access to our water distribution system. If you were at a location where you can't physically incorporate because you're not contiguous to it, then you would have to enter into an annexation agreement with us.
That when that changed, you would be annexed. then?
Yeah, so as soon as you are contiguous in ability, you've already pre-agreed that you will incorporate.
Okay, thank you.
The only exception to that would be if the village force annexes someone in where there's no water available. It'd be part of the village without water.
Which we wouldn't do.
do I have a motion to approve? Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Barker.
Second, Nero.
Motion made and second to approve. Anybody, comments, questions from anybody?
Glad this is finally happening.
Yes, jeez.
Well, we've been concerned about this. We've heard all the people who live up there. This is our first step of
This is,
assisting.
yeah, I mean,
with the
it's a
county.
big dollar amount, but it's one block. It's, Lincoln from Ogden Avenue up to 41st, and then we were going down 40, I was gonna say a little, it's actually a lot, but it connects all the dead ends, so it's all actually a flow and a water distribution improvement for our existing system.
Will it help the fire department with the pressure?
At that location, very much so.
yep, there'll be fire
They won't
hydrants up
even
there for
hook
them now,
onto the
so.
private system.
Yeah, I
so.
know. We've had issues with it, but good. Roll call, please.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to the new business F, water rate adjustment discussion. Board to discuss proposed water rate adjustments, and I've got Director Allen, I got Spencer, Assistant Village Manager Spencer Parker, so who's leading?
I'll lead.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board. Like the agenda item says, this is just a discussion item. There's no action being taken tonight. I know we've had several meetings, both at the board level and at committee level. This is at least our second discussion now at the whole board level. For the benefit of the public, I would like to kind of start off with some history and some background about how we got to this point. If IT could pull up the slides of the presentation for me, please. So, almost a year ago, or over a year ago, the village hired a consulting firm called Raftellus. Raftellus is a leading national-based firm that specializes in dealing with utilities and working through their rates and their rate structure. And at that point, it was really time to take a fresh look at, a new look at what our water rates and our structure was. Our current rate structure that exists now has been in place for a long time. And it's really time to take a look in terms of, take a look at how we charge and what we charge for water. So working with Raftellus and village staff over the many months that have been since fall of last year, we've worked out a financial forecast plan, otherwise kind of known as a needs analysis. And some of the factors that we considered were the operation and maintenance costs of the utility, debt service, purchased water from the DuPage Water Commission, and the last is the capital needs of the village. And just one thing I want to point out is those capital needs, which is like vehicles, equipment, infrastructure, water meters. That's becoming expected to become our largest categorical expense as we move forward into next year.
Excuse me, it's supposed to be on the screen, the information,
Brian has to do that.
Brian?
Is it changing the podium?
Yeah.
Yeah, while you're talking, we'll wait till it's on.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, capital is becoming, starting next year, is going to start to become our largest categorical expense. Right now, our largest categorical expense is our purchased water from the DuPage Water Commission. About 65% of our costs right now are through them. But starting next year, we start to transition over into capital. So I'll briefly talk about some of the major capital projects that are coming down the pike over the next few years. So right now we have 2 water towers, and starting in 2025, we're expected to build our 3rd water tower at a little over $6 million. So all said and told, between that water tower and some replacement of our central water tower and some painting of our south water tower, looking to spend almost $16 million over the next 5 years just on water towers alone. And some miscellaneous capital expenditures that we expend on, such as vehicles, equipment, our regulatory responsibilities in terms of replacing lead service lines, plant improvements. Right now, we're spending about $800,000. That's expected to jump up to almost $1.2 million by 2023.
IT's working on it.
Yeah.
This is published on the website anyways, right? If others that can't see it want to look at it, I'd imagine
Can you put in a help desk ticket for you?
Yeah, right.
we're sharing this.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted to point out, sorry, the slides got messed up, got a little distracted. So the last thing I wanted to point out is our infrastructure costs. So next year, in 2025, we're expected to spend almost $3 million in infrastructure alone, and that's anticipated. And by the time we jump to 2033, we're spending over $4 million and almost $4.3 million. And part of that jump is a change in village philosophy to try to develop a plan to actually replace our water main. Right now, we really don't have a plan to replace our water main. Moving forward, the plan is to change at least 1% or do 1 mile of water main every year. We have about 98 miles of water main, so that is about 1% of our water main right now. We've never had a plan, so this is at least a step in the right direction and trying to have a dedicated funding source to move forward, to be able to fund for those types of capital improvements.
And I think it was when Trustee Barry was still on the board 4 years ago, I think we held off the rate increase. We all agreed on a 3-year rate increase because of COVID, because of what was going on, we canceled that. So now when you look at rates surrounding, we haven't even charged what Chicago charges us. We've been eating that cost, so.
Yeah, I wish I could show the slide, and I've showed it before at the last meeting. I think it really does a great job of kind of framing this picture. There's a chart that, if you remember back from a couple weeks ago, construction costs nationwide have grown 46% since 2018. Inflation has jumped almost 26% since 2018. Our water rates have increased.
There it is.
Increased 9%, a little over 9%. Next one. Yeah, so this is a slide that I was just referencing. So this is that blue line is our water rate increases since 2018, up 9%. Construction costs are up 46. General inflation alone is up, that kind of maroon reddish line in the middle is up almost 26%. That's the gap.
And it
that
is
we're
a
trying to-
water revenue fund, so the money has to come from users.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So in working with Raftelis and what they're recommending in terms of our structures, what is changing is the fixed fee and our variable rate fee. So what they're recommending, changing the fixed fee to be, right now it's $5 a bill for all users, is changing that and have it be dependent on meter size for both residential and commercial accounts. And on the variable rate side, introduction of a new concept, something called an inclining block rate. So water usage, 16,000 gallons and less, we bill at a lower tiered rate, and usage above 16,000, we bill it at a higher rate. The difference meant to reflect the 16,000 less is more core consumption, more showers, cooking, cleaning, that type of stuff. Over 16,000 is starting to get into that discretionary use. So that's you're a person that takes the 20-minute shower 3 times a day. You are watering your lawn every day. It starts to get into that types of usage. So those have a different tiered rate to reflect the cost that they have on the system, just from a maintenance standpoint. But then being able to kind of right size the utility system to be able to handle that type of demand. So this slide kind of frames that impact for 2025. So on the left side, the typical bid user, the 50th percentile user, the average user of 7,000 gallons a bill. Today, their bill is $85.50. So right now, moving with the new rate structure being proposed into next year, it's a $5 impact to their bi-monthly bill. So from $85.50 up to $90.50. And the table on the right is that inclining block rate being introduced. So that first 16,000 gallons is billed at that lower rate, and the 2,000 gallons on top of that is billed at that higher inclining block rate structure. Just for kind of frame it, that's about 94th percentile user is 18,000 gallons and above. So not too many users in our system are using that type of water. Right now, their bill is $212 every 2 months. So moving forward, they would have $18 tacked on, and it would be $230 impact.
These are the big users, the hotel, the natatorium.
This is residential.
Oh, this is residential.
Yeah.
Ah,
But I just wanted to point out down at the bottom, this is the 94th percentile. So this is 6% of users are using this type of water or greater. Very small impact. I don't have it on here, but the amount of bills that we send out that are over the 16,000 gallon mark is, I think it's like 8 or 9% of all of our residential users. It's a very small amount in the grand scheme of
swimming
things.
pools, watering their
Yep.
yard.
So 91, 92% of the bills that get mailed out, you're going to see the type of change on the left. It's going to be like a $5 impact next year. You're not going to be subject to that inclining block rate.
It's $250 a month. It's right?
So
Bi-monthly bill.
Bi-monthly.
Yeah,
So,
bi-monthly.
But basically, it's $250 a month.
$250 a month, yep. This slide was a slide that Raftelis put together. So this tries to get everything on equal playing field. I know we bill bi-monthly, and some other communities might bill monthly. So this is all the rates of our neighbors on a monthly basis. And it's the same usage as over here on the left. It's that 7,000 gallon user. So on a monthly basis, they would use 3,500 gallons. This is what their bill would be under that structure. So Westmont current is where we are today. That's that leftmost red amount. So that's where we are today compared to our neighbors. With the water rate increase being proposed, it moves one slot to the right. We're still in the middle. Our impact is still in the middle. It's not as big an increase compared to some of our other neighbors. And I will say one thing I do want to point out, and I've talked to a lot of these finance directors and a lot of these other communities that are on this chart. They're in a similar spot to us. Either they have raised rates or they're in discussions over the next year or two having these same types of conversations. I know like Downers Grove is expected to have some increases coming up next year. Burr Ridge also has increases coming up, Naperville as well. So many of these communities are having these types of conversations or are expected to in the coming months.
These are their current rates without an increase.
Yep. So these are the current rates as of September of this year. So nothing's been updated since September of this year.
Yeah.
So this slide it talks about our communication strategy. I know communication's very important in trying to get the message out to our community. So I want to talk a little bit about what we have done and what we plan to do over the coming months. First thing we've done, we've created a very strong web presence. We've created a website called westmontwaterrates.org. A lot of great information, a lot of the information that I've talked about here tonight. On that website, you'll be able to use a calculator where you can try to get a better handle on what your impact and what your bill might be moving forward. I talked about how the introduction of the changing of the fixed fee, where depending on your meter size, a resident doesn't have to know what their meter size is. If they simply know their account number, it'll pull back your meter size and calculate that part of it for you. There's also videos on there as well that also explain our water rate increase.
Did you put that together?
Did I put it together?
Yeah.
No, we hired a consultant to help put that together.
That was very well done.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, that's some of the best information that we've given out over the years. That was very helpful to see that. I was glad.
Yeah.
It was produced through the company that did the study for us, but there was definitely lots of staff involved from the finance, public works, and communications involved in making sure we got the best product out there possible.
And I'll say we wanted to take it to that next level and put, since part of the rate structure is the meter fee, that was important that we at least provide a resident, because no one's going to know their meter size, no one's going to go in their crawl space or wherever their meter is and go check it out. So at least they have an opportunity to, on their own, to figure out what their meter size is. If they just, when they get their bill, plug in your account number, it spits it back to you. So we put a lot of information out on Facebook, Twitter, and Nextdoor already, some stuff on our village website. We'll continue to put stuff on our website and Facebook, Twitter, and Nextdoor. Right now, staff is proposing to bring forth an ordinance at our next meeting on the 19th. Depending on if that gets approved, we're planning on putting together mailer inserts with the utility bill notices that go out at the end of this month, and also with the January notices as well. So there'll be some communication through some mailer inserts with everyone's utility bill at the end of the month and next month. And going into some of the other stuff that we've done, we've put together some information on message boards at the train station and here at Village Hall. There's a small blurb in the October Community Magazine, and we'll have a much larger notice in the Community Magazine coming up in January. And like I said before, we've also put together a YouTube video that's out on our YouTube channel and is also on the westmontwaterrates.org website as well. This is the last slide. This is our proposed implementation timeline. So we're having open discussions tonight, and we had a discussion a few weeks ago on the 14th of November. proposing to bring forth an ordinance on the 19th, our next meeting, with the proposed rate increase to go into effect with the February 28th, 2025 notices. So 3-ish months from now.
This is a good opportunity. Anybody here wants to ask questions about the water rate? I got one. Can an alarm go off if I hit 7,000 gallons at my house?
All of ours.
Yeah, right.
It's not an alarm when you get that, but when people have like significant leaks that they're not aware about, our system flags us that there's unusual amount of usage on a single account, so.
I was very impressed by the system.
Yeah.
Literally, I made the mistake of leaving mine on, and by the afternoon, there was a notice on my door, and I had already caught it, but, maybe somebody doesn't catch it, and that could be a lot of savings. So, and I think, as you guys have discussed, I'm late to the game, but implementing it in February helps to lighten that load. And I think that that's the best time, if it's got to be done, to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and also that was kind of part of our consideration to your point. It lightens the load because those are typically lower consumption months because you're not getting into the summer watering season.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. We'll look forward. Next meeting, we'll have a motion.
An ordinance for your consideration.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Miscellaneous, I have one item. I am going to propose an individual to fill Amy Lee's vacant position. Matt Scales, he's on our planning and zoning. He's been one of them, he's knowledgeable, he's involved in the community. I want to appoint him, and the board has to approve it, to serve out the next 5 months, or whatever it is, 4 months. So as long as no one, well, tell me if there's objection, because we're going to ask him to come in on the 19th and swear him in, pass it, and yes.
It's just describing what you did. It's the mayor's responsibility to make the appointment, but it requires ratification by the village board. So this is the mayor's proposed appointment, and you'll see it in 2 weeks for official stuff.
Yeah. And along with that, a committee, I've always used a committee to interview individuals. So there'll be a vacancy on planning and zoning and staff, and with myself and
Doug.
Senior Trustee Nero and Doug, who's the chair of P&Z. We interview these candidates and we all come up with the one we want to recommend to the board. So we'll be doing that probably the first of the year. So hopefully we can get someone in place before the January P&Z meeting. I know that Trustee Barry, you speak highly of Matt.
Had the opportunity to work with him, and I was impressed from day one, and I know he's your appointment. I know, Joe, we've worked with him, and then I see his family regularly at District 201 things. I know they're very active, and just from talking to the community, a lot of praise. So I'd look forward to working with Matt again.
And he's very excited about the opportunity. Now, Doug's not happy, but that's...
True.
Any other comments?
Mayor, just
Yes.
one quick item. I know we mentioned ARPA earlier in our intergovernmental agreement. I just wanted to make the board aware that the mayor and I have been working real hard with DuPage County, and in a, believe it or not, a bipartisan support from the county, there should be formal approval on a $50,000 ARPA-funded grant specifically for natatorium to help the village be a little more proactive and bring in some more events to the community and helping grow that establishment and other surrounding businesses. So hopefully it's the first of many, but this is just for this budget. So we hope to keep that going, and I appreciate the mayor for helping us kind of navigate that. And now it's in the attorney's hand to take care of the paperwork, but we should know next week.
But for the county to realize that's important for the whole county to have people here. And we've gotten very familiar with the process because they have to bid on certain things and they have to submit 10,000, 5,000. So this is going to help them bring in events here so we can utilize our businesses and so.
Yeah, and I'll just add, we live on the border with 2 county board districts, 2 and 3. Every county board member's been unanimous. Multiple of them have been there with us at the natatorium. Party doesn't matter, and it's just nice, to be involved in one of those kind of situations where everybody from the chairman down wants to help Westmont and the natatorium, so it's pretty cool.
That's how we operate here.
That's it.
So I think it's a great thing, team. Any other miscellaneous items? Seeing none, we do not have an executive session, so I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Little?
Second, you're on.
Motion made, second to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Well, and I'd like to thank everyone. This meeting is adjourned.